Soviets and Soviets of the Red Army. How y'all doing? This is Con Ulrich.
And I'm Ru. Hello, hello, hello.
And folks, we are taking a break from SD League play to go over here to the Terrible Divisions tournament. And Rang, who do we have? Where and where are we for that matter? What's going on here?
On the left-hand side in blue, we have ourselves Green HD playing as Lovas with a Maverick income. And the right-hand side in red, we have Karma playing 184 Strokey with a Vanguard income.
Alrighty. Looking outside of that, I mean, kind of fairly standard opening from both particular divisions. Of course, we have some Terrans here. We got the 40 mil pop guns on the left-hand side. Of course, in the opposite angle, though, we have the 76s, which are just going to start engaging anything and everything, including those poor Flammenwerfer wannabes, getting forced back as PTRSs start to kind of poke their head out and see if there's 6 more weeks of winter here, which naturally being Russia, there will be.
Yep.
Now, down to the south, we're seeing 50 mil mortars also engaging. And what should we expect, I guess, from these decks? We haven't seen Lovas in quite a bit of time, so how's that going to play out here?
Yeah, Lovas has definitely been hit since like the last proper time. I think we've seen him once or twice, but since the since the Hungarian rifles have turned from semi-autos to just like a slightly faster boat action, they're no longer as great as they used to be, but they're still pretty decent. However, Karma's deck is a very peculiar one with 184 fairs. He has more snipers in it and probably a quick scope in lobby in Call of Duty. Like, it's just an insane amount of snipers, which should work well on this map. And also, he does have a decent amount of infantry, but opting to take him with veterancy rather than just getting the unvetted masses that we usually see. So, I'm interested to see how that will go, because you lose out on a lot of availability. Or would you rather have 18 stroke here with 1-star veterancy or 27 of them? It's like you lose like 9 whole stroke squads for just a little bit of extra accuracy and firepower and morale.
So why invest in that then? Why go
I don't know.
Quality over quantity?
I don't know, especially for, just the Russian spam infantry. I'm curious to see how this is going to work out for Karma. I don't want to completely dismiss it. I don't think it's a good idea, but maybe it could work. But he's going to lose out in that long-term attritional warfare. But I guess to a Vanguard income, he's not looking for attrition.
Like I said to you last time, live fast, die young. Makes perfect sense. But Lovas over here then. Lovas with a Maverick. Again, Maverick has definitely seen itself get hit. Quite harshly, I would say. Don't really see the same kind of appearance level, let's say. So what should we expect from the Hungarians being dreadfully technologically behind, but also economically kind of rough? Why are we looking at a Maverick, I guess?
Try to hit hard early on with the light tanks where you can and use that infantry, because Lovas is pretty much focused on A phase, B phase division. They're not great in C phase in terms of availability rise, but this might work pretty well for Green HD. I do like how down south here he has to use some smoke to try and cross these Husaruks to the other side of the forest, and he needs to try and blow up that BA-10, which is giving a little bit of hassle.
Well, I mean, if you could imagine having that chicken crossing the road right now, man, she wishes she had smoke grenades for this. But yeah, you're absolutely right. Husaruks are dashing across, and the BA-10 can't see anybody to torment. And indeed, I think he's actually getting forced back by the 75 mil, which is a very strange thing to be seeing.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm really happy that goddamn smoke play. That worked really well. We don't see people use smoke like that all that often, but it's going to allow Green HC to flank around the southern side of the map here and get into some good fire support positions. And we're also seeing quite a bit of early airplane play here from both sides. Karma bringing out an LA-5 to try and do a bombing run, but doesn't seem like it's going to go that well.
Oof.
As, yeah, 40mm is absolutely brutal.
I didn't even see him until it was too late. Jeez. But this 45 mil down to the south, the M42 will keep the Terran at range. Had he been able to get nice and tight there, I get the feeling that that Stewart would not even be among the living. And indeed, yeah. I think we're seeing potential play to pick him up. No.
Yeah,
interesting.
And at close range, these Hungarian infantry are pretty damn deadly. So, yes, the rifles aren't as good as they used to be, but they're still 16-man squads, for Christ's sake. That's pretty gnarly squad sizes.
Well, and they still have the ability to engage things like that Stewart. Yeah, is it easy? No, and it's never meant to be. But indeed, we'll actually see right now as the Stewart starts to engage this second Huzarok squad. The Turan's going on in there, and he's hungry like the wolf, I think.
Yep. And he has a much better gun. If both of them bounce, it's pretty pathetic. Holy crap, this is a pathetic tank fight.
Huzarok is just like, dude, I'm out of here. Like, you guys have fun.
Yeah,
oh my gosh, he's got to come in to save the day.
Oh,
no,
damn.
the Turan gets it first.
Yeah.
Regardless, though, that... Yes, sir.
No, it's just pathetic how much they're bouncing off each other. It's so close range.
Well, they're just sharing ideas. They want to kill each other. They just want to bounce ideas off each other. That makes sense.
A high velocity, it seems.
Well, it's actually that they don't have email, so that's the quickest way they can think to send messages.
Ah.
Yes. So that's actually most of the wars are kind of like that. We're just sharing ideas with the ability of 9mm at a time. Huzaroks are going to desperately try to push back Strelkis and the Otomachikis, so we have a pretty good idea how this is going to go, so we can just see the Huzarok squad is getting shredded by all those PP Shahs. Man. I have never shot a PP Shah. Have you ever shot a PP Shah?
No, I have not.
It's one of those things I feel like at some point I kind of want to do, not because I have any sense of patriotism for Russian nationalism, but just I imagine is a quite strange experience.
Probably over before you know it once you let go of the trigger. 71 rounds are gone.
I feel like there's a sex joke in there someplace.
It probably is.
Unsaid, out of respect for our younger viewers.
People in the comments can dig it out.
Exactly. Part of me almost wants to have start having joke competitions, you know, right? Just maybe it's like fill in your own blanks. I think might be a good thing for our audience this year. Mad Lib casts. Strokis in the meantime are going to find themselves getting pressured by these 40M, the Turans. And the Turans are not having it. And the Otomachikis, again, not able to really do anything about those tanks. And the Stewart to the north doesn't seem to think it's important enough to really push back. I guess these guys who are jamming on the PBIs.
Yeah. Yeah, it's just...
Howza. Sorry, Focke Wolf down to the south. I mean, that thing has been brutal. Dropping in 50-kilogram bombs, but he's dropping 300 or 400 at a time. And he's just pressuring. Look at all the stuff here down here to the south. He's got 6 or 7 squads that are all freaked out right now.
This is going to give him time to bring in his hussars to, barrel on through to try and move in. And we do have some smoke being dropped in, which I believe is actually Karma dropping the smoke, which is actually benefiting Green HD in this case.
Oh, desperately, yes.
Yeah, as the infantry is going to barrel on through and might want to unload before that 76mm starts blowing him a new one.
Nope, too late. But the Focke Wolves have been hot and heavy here, and indeed... Yep, sorry, yeah, it is 400 kilograms. And here comes another missing anti-tank gun. Yep, meanwhile to the north, though, this push for this town has bogged down ever so slightly, and I mean that kind of tongue-in-cheek, as so much of the Loviches of here are just kind of forced to hug the dirt and get real nice and cozy.
Yeah, the Turan can't get into an actual line of sight in that Stuart, which he probably should do, as that Stuart is causing a whole lot of pain with machine guns.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Oh my gosh, I forgot that the 184th does pick up all of those leads. I'm noticing we have a general lead down to the south. And he kills the Turan as the shot is still leaving the barrel for the Turan. So he dies, but so does the Turan. This is it's very generous calling both of those true tanks, but I admire your willingness to be inclusive. You know, to the north, the Stewart is trying to get an angle, I think, on this one last surviving squad. No. We got 40 mils engaging. Oh, the 40 and the 75 mil to the north are engaging the Stewart, and he takes it out. So, with that, the north has fallen to the Hungarian I'm not even gonna say wave because it's more like Hungarian lapping of a tide.
But
Nothing a whole lot really there.
Khan is a whole strokey in that town still. He might be able to completely reverse the entire, push by himself.
Yeah, unless that dude is Kurt Russell, I don't think he's gonna kill them all.
Must really
Oh
suck being that
man.
poor guy.
Kurt Russell? Yeah, I mean, geez,
Yep.
poor guy hasn't made a movie in years. Not anything good anyway, so. Um, Down to the south, the resurgent kind of army of everything has just been just so devastating. And again, the 50 mil mortars, like we saw on Tuesday, force multipliers of nothing I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel like Karma's going to be able to set up a good defensive line here. He does have the mortars. He has a big 152mm, dropping in some rather big loads. And yeah, I think if he just gets the infantry and the anti-tank guns within his forest area, I mean, I don't feel like he's going to be able to... He might be able to push back, but I think he's going to be able to at least halt Green HD from moving up any further.
Here's kind of the question. We've seen so much mortar play recently. Why is that? Was there a buff that had just happened here, or what's going on? Can you kind of share that with the
I
viewers?
think it's those 50mm mortars now can shoot indirectly, which is a pretty big deal. Because beforehand they can only shoot directly at enemy targets, which made them pretty useless as they just get killed before they could shoot. But now being able to be used as mortars, they are just rapid fire, indirect machine guns essentially.
Which means that they are headed for a nerf.
Yeah, probably. I don't know how long this will last or what they'll do with them because they are very good for the price and it's an interesting position.
Certainly seems to be. I'm just checking over here for the Lovach. Yeah, he could bring in some artillery over here to kind of engage. But he's got two opportunities for that. I'm surprised I'm not seeing the Focke-Wulf for the 210 being called in here. He definitely has the income for it.
Yeah, and considering down south of how... I mean, it's an anti-aircraft gun there, and that thing will get shot at by... or die from anything that looks nasty at it. But still, it is a very clumped up force of angry Soviets, and 210 will do a lot of damage.
Well, I think he's at the 105 being brought on in now, so he's got the Ford Observer a little far back. He wants to engage and kill that 76-2 first. So I guess that does make sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, actually, wait a second. Where's he moving him up? Yeah, he's going way too far forward. These Stuarts are going to pick him off before he gets the chance.
Yeah, it's definitely a risky maneuver, yeah. Probably want to try and hook it round south and get close to calling the artillery.
Well, we're seeing tons of smoke being dropped down, so I think he's afraid that there's going to be a push from these Turan 2s. Heedless of the danger that there's going to be some rather hefty artillery fire dropped onto his artillery park, as well as a 37 mil.
Yep.
Or did it already die? Nope, it already died.
It is
Never mind.
dead. Yeah, it's still pretty neck on neck here. We're 13 minutes in, it's only in 11-13. Green HC does have a slight point advantage still, but I feel like Coleman can make a resurgence down south here.
It's entirely possible. Just looking back to the north in the meantime, we do have 2 full squads.
Strokies?
Yeah, it's shifting on in, and for some reason, oh my gosh, they're hitting the perfect kind of empty no shoot zone. Oh wow, never mind.
Oh.
Okay, they're both pinned down now. And here's where I run back out real quick. I take 2 squads captive, and I pat myself on the back.
Having the Turan 2 definitely helped out quite a bit in that firefight, because those Strokey SVTs are pretty nasty at close range.
As we're finding out just to the south here, as 3 squads are going to go and engage and take another Hussar squad in the forest and push back quite considerably.
Yeah, those 50mm mortars are goddamn insane, as you can see.
Certainly seems to be the case. Looking at the central position, we're going to see some Hussars as well as some flame troops trying to get in and get some deadliness going on down here. What is causing that? Okay, it's 152. I was going to say, there's a rather hefty explosion happening down here to the south. I could not figure for the life of me what was going on there. It's looking way too close towards the front lines.
Yep, it's just that big bloody gun, and Karma has a lot of those big bloody guns, as it's really opting just to take the 152 mils over really anything smaller. And I don't blame him, because, I mean, you can blow up a lot of things with that big gun.
It's true, but at the same time, we actually have to wait until another 5 minutes to even see them.
Yeah.
But I would not be surprised that the second that hits, we'll see 1 and probably 2 getting dropped right next to, well, that slowly emptying Matador. But,
Man, now would be the time for Karma to try and push a little bit down south, as we can see here by Godview, of course, yet. There's not much here from Green HC. That's on the right side of the road. At the same time, Karma doesn't have a lot of regular infantry troops either. Just has a lot of fire support vehicles and infantry, not so much in terms of just standard strokey spam. There is starting to bring in some.
we are going to see the Nimrod, so my life is complete. We have a Nimrod in the center of the map. I'm super excited for that. I'm sorry, these guys are just ridiculous.
Best
and
anti-tank piece
fantastic.
in game.
They are supremely good, actually.
Yep. You got one up north here, gonna be routing off at LA5, and I think he's also trying to fight the Valentines, which is a little bit of a risky proposition.
Again, I want to check that out here for a second. Yeah, their APs, their heat shells are so freaking good.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. Lousy accuracy when all things are considered, but nothing's really that fantastic anymore now, is it? We are going to see a Turan, an inverted V. I don't know. This is not really a massive push here. And indeed, there's a Valentine in the 6-pounder in the back. He's going to be engaging these Turans. So it's going to be a rather one-sided affair here. As the Turans can only stress him out, and as you can see right there, the Valentine needs to only hit to kill.
Yeah,
So,
the Valentines are actually a pretty good tank in this sort of matchup, especially because you have a big open map where they can have long range advantage, and a 6-pounder in relatively decent armor fighting Hungarians is quite a conundrum to deal with. The Turan runs and 2s can't really do much. The only thing Green HC can reasonably kill our Valentine at long range is, I think, like some Black 40s and a Hetcher, and the Nimrod if they get closer, but you have to get close.
well, the Hetzer is down south. They have one of those down south. And in the center is Ju-88. What's the Ju-88 bombing?
I think that Skroda Shoki SVTs in the forest.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, it's sort of pretty good push here from Green HD going through the center of this town. Does have the fire support backing up with the Turan tanks, and I think just enough infantry to round off these strokies.
Yeah, I think just enough is entirely the right call here. I feel like... Oh no, he's bringing in 2 Focke-Wulfs. He's going after the anti-air gun. Multiple approaches, yeah, that thing's dead no matter what. He might get 1 kill. Yep.
There we go. That was pretty rough run. I did like how he did do the multiple approaches here. That splits up the flak fire, rather than both planes getting hit by the same flak shells.
On the left that was coming on in gets pushed back. Not too surprising there. Valentine's doing their own kind of devastation to the north. Watch, expect the Valentines to go and get kills here on this Nimrod. And yep, there we go.
Yep.
Somewhere a village is missing its idiot. But not to be outdone, there still is another Nimrod here that's engaging a little bit further south. Oh no, he's going after the left. Never mind. That left's probably going to go down. Yep. That
There
thing
he
is
goes.
deadly AF.
Yeah.
And with that in mind, yeah, here's a 210 coming on in to call in an artillery barrage on those northern troops. Here it comes. The 189.
Yep.
This is going to be over so quickly. He's coming right in time, though, too, because those troops are not going to be able to hold the line for too much longer.
And he did manage to kill the anti-air and keep the laughs at bay, so this is the perfect time to bring it in.
I forget how quick the call-in barrage is on this.
Yeah, it's actually that's pretty bloody fast. Because it's an airplane, I'm not entirely sure, but nonetheless, I think Karma is not going to appreciate what is about to be dropped in his head.
No, it doesn't seem like it. His troops are surprisingly sanguine about the entire experience, though. Huh. Um, I guess we are seeing the downside of dropping a super quick barrage, is that they might not be in the correct zip code.
Yep. Yep, we are seeing
Sorry.
a bunch of Strokey SV. Where is Strokey going up north? Oh, he's going into, like, that second leg of the town to defend that point. I'm actually surprised he isn't bringing any of them down south to try and hold the main road, because he currently does not have much yet.
No, he doesn't, but... And I guess actually after that last barrage, too, it's going to be kind of a long odds, to say the least. Tehran, in the meantime, is just going to... I mean, these Tehrans, the 1s and 2s, are not going to do a whole lot, but they might just by sheer weight of fire kill a single Valentine, we'll say.
Yeah.
Like, bruv, you're not going to kill him from, 500 meters. You got to get so close, you're sniffing something that you don't want to be sniffing.
There we go. Enough firepower will eventually blow up anything.
Now, Focke-Wulf, in the meantime, is going to go after all of these Strokey, and since all these Strokey are just so obligingly lined up in the same spot, 400 kilograms, I'm calling every single one of them to be stressed out. Or dead.
Oh, that was...
Jeez.
You probably should not have had them all bunched up. That was a perfect target there for that Focke-Wulf bomb and run.
Yeah, they certainly got fogged.
Down south, though, Karma has managed to make a bit of a foothold into the forest once again. Now, he is not in control of the flag, however. And I feel like he could potentially push to the other side of the road and put a little bit of pressure here. Just seeing with like Godview, Green Hates, he doesn't have a whole lot. Really, the scary thing are the Hetchers and the Pack 40. 2 Pack 40s.
But Hetzers are expensive, though.
Yeah, but in this matchup, they're essentially heavy tanks.
Yeah, that is true. Oh, well, unfortunately, though, we are just seeing more Tehrans being brought in instead. And, ooh, the Ju-88 being brought to the north, looking to push back this attacking Russian infantry once and for all. I think 1,000 kilograms ought to do it. But you know what? I'm a rather conservative man on this.
Once again, not going to be a fun day for Karma's infantry.
No, that's kind of really been the story of all day today, hasn't it?
Yep, just guys in the air blowing up guys on the ground.
You don't want to be Green's tanks or Karma's infantry.
So Karma's actually making a pretty good counter push here in the northern side through the town. His half tracks stressing out the Hungarian infantry, and infantry blob from before is making good headway. Oh, not for
the
long.
moment.
Yep. Come on, spread out a little bit.
Well, the Focke-Wulfs, I mean, if those Focke-Wulfs aren't flying, this is a completely different game.
Yeah.
I know we talk about heroes here and there. There'll be maybe 4 squads of kills, but without them, so many of these pushes would just be stillborn.
Yeah, they just completely stress out any sort of major advance that happens, and yeah, this is... I mean, Green Haze C is still in a pretty good position overall, 14-10, but Karma is starting to fight back a bit. I mean, up north, he does have potential to capture the far northern town. I think that 30mm mortar will definitely help out quite a bit.
No, he won't.
I think he needs more anti-air because these Focke-Wulfs are just getting a little bit crazy now.
Well, here's one Focke-Wulf who's going to just stress him out. And I didn't even see the other one drop bombs.
Oh, he's just flying about, the bomber.
He's going for the
target.
center. No, this is a perfect target. Here it comes.
Oh, yeah.
He's going to get at least 1 kill, but probably 2.
Oh. Oh, yeah, he got a half track, never mind.
152s in the meantime are just starting to really assert themselves, causing more than a little bit of a hassle here. Jeez Louise.
And we got the Jagdpanzers being brought into the central town position here. At long range, I can actually deal with the Valentines pretty efficiently, and I want to say I want to say he can kill the 85 mil, but the 85 mil will probably kill him first. You need to try and knock it out because that's really the main hassle of anti-aggro fire up north.
Yeah, but I can't help but think we're gonna get one of those multiple barrage moments or multiple gun run moments.
Yep, we got the Focke-Wulf coming in once again. Gonna be dropping in bombs on the town. Not a whole lot yet to barrage, but I guess he just wants to soften things up before he makes any advance.
I would have actually probably liked to see him drop it down to the south. Like, you gotta know that your enemy's got a ton of material in these forests.
Yeah.
I can respect the fact that there's still those 237 mils, but in theory there should be artillery that can engage that. Like, there really should be artillery that can engage that. We're not seeing it, unfortunately, over here from Green HD.
Yeah, he's just trying to... I think he's not so concerned about getting kills of the off-map, just using it to stress out and then push. And I feel like he's going to be able to get that to good effect here once his artillery barrage drops. As he does have some Hungarian infantry on standby. If they don't get hit by the own artillery. Which sometimes happens.
I mean, yeah. When you're within 50 meters of the barrage, it's bound to happen sooner or later, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Panther in the meantime just continues to just loft rounds at the next Valentine that's over here. And I kind of forget how many. He can get 16 Valentines? Jeez.
Yeah, they're pretty abundant. I mean, they're very good tanks for what they are. Because you don't treat them as tanks. You just treat them as mobile tank. Not very mobile, but quote-unquote mobile anti-tank guns. Got long range. Yeah, put them in a forest. Long range. That 6-pounder is a... pretty close to a machine gun almost in terms of anti-tank gun firepower, especially for the caliber.
Sure. True, it's hard to find vehicles of that caliber anymore.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 57mm is such a weird number. It's either 75 or bust. Or 76 or 88, But 75 is like the nice number.
I can see that.
Yeah.
I can see that. I'm sorry, just keep watching these these air artillery strikes to the north, essentially. And indeed, this Focke-Wulf is finally going to go down, I believe. There's too much ground fire here. I'd be very surprised if he makes it out, but this might be casting curse striking again. No.
Close.
No.
Oh.
Shockingly enough.
There we go. Yeah, the nice thing about the Focke-Wulf bombers is they are just fast enough and sturdy enough to, survive a bit of anti-aircraft fire. Ju-88, maybe not so much. A little bit too slow.
But the 85 mil is being engaged, so... Oof, never mind. The 85 mil says I make my own luck and kills his tormentor here.
Mm-hmm. Far north, Karma has managed to re-secure that town now, but still not looking good for him, as it's a 9-15, not in his favour.
Well, 14-10, that's definitely going to help him out a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
But I think this is more by suffrage than by actual intent.
Yeah, down south, I think Karma's just making, like, a final hurrah here. He's just attacking with everything. Like, it seems like he just selected everything and did an attack move. His 50mm mortars are getting really close, but this could work. It's just enough high explosive firepower in all his forces to maybe just break on through his entire southern area.
I could see it. I could definitely see it. And the 210, though, is here to kind of go and stop this. So here, at long last, we are going to see that barrage that I was expecting to see about 3 minutes ago.
Yeah. And this is the last barrage, so he can just suicide that plane in and not care. Oh, he doesn't get the artillery off, it seems.
No, he does not.
Really escape?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yep. It's gonna buy Karma some much needed time. Because, preferably getting artillery later rather than now is beneficial.
Well, and as we're getting later and later here, we're also going to see the manifest issues with the first Lovas, especially this deck here. I don't see anything in C. Oh no, excuse me. There is one unit from C. I
Yeah.
don't, unless I'm misreading this. Maybe I don't have my window wide enough. But I don't see anything else from C.
Yeah, I don't believe so either. So, and we're 10 minutes into C phase now. So, I wonder how Green Heat C is doing in terms of his, attritional warfare. I mean, he does have a lot of guys up north here to still hold it, and he is actually retaking that far northern town of some Hungarian blokes. His southern push is definitely going to force him to relocate or repurchase or purchase a lot of firepower down south to try and deal with this, because Karma's making... on one hand, Karma's making decent headway, but on the other hand, I don't think he can really push that much further, relatively speaking, down south. He might be able to get the flag, like, slap bang in the middle of the open field, but in terms of that defensive position that Green HC is holding on to, I don't feel like that push is going to be able to have the momentum to reach out far.
No, no, you're right. I would like to see those mortars being brought on in though. The 81 millimeters, even if it's just to engage and take out these anti-air positions. That would certainly make me feel breathe a little bit easier on my end.
There you go. He's doing that.
Is he? Oh, there
Yes.
they are. Okay.
Yeah. He can read your thoughts from the future, Khan. He's listening to his replay as he speaks.
Oh, he's listening as he speaks.
Or as he plays, goddammit.
It's fine. It's fine. In the meantime, watch this ISU 122 in the north. Might minorly assert himself, but again, ISU 122, just as great as that gun is, it's just it fires so slow.
I completely forgot he had that in his deck. That's a pretty damn good unit to have in this sort of matchup, because the Hungarians really don't have much that can kill it, but yes, the gun is very slow, and there's a lot of targets.
But I mean, the northern town is slowly being brought under control.
Mm-hmm.
Not that northernmost everything, but it's not northernmost town. And also, can we just talk about how slow the Turan shots are? They just kind of like fly through the air that they don't have a care in the world.
Yeah.
37 mil looking to pressure out this Focke-Wulf. 2 Focke-Wulfs, in fact.
Yeah,
one unmasks. No, I thought one would unmask, then one would just start bombing anyway, but that is not to be the case.
Oh, this is getting pretty close here from Karma. It definitely feels like he is getting a bit desperate as he is doing these rather aggressive maneuvers now, and you have to at this point. You just need to throw everything in and hope for the best, and it might work in his town area. I mean, he does have enough strokey and fire support to try and push back Green HC here. Knocked out Nimrod, which is a pretty good kill, and yeah, I think it's really going to come down to if he can knock out some of those Focke-Wulfs.
Well, the Ju-88 continues to be a hassle. And we still have this 40 mil gun just throwing rounds downrange. Yeah, most of these tend to be the HE shells, which are not going to do a whole lot. But hey, strong nonetheless.
Yep.
But we are creeping closer and closer to doom as we are just outside 180 seconds before it is all over. Focke-Wulf, rather interesting bomb dispersal patterns. He comes north-south here, and I think he might finally buy it. Of course, I've been saying that before.
I feel like Karma just needs one more 37mm up north, and he can start knocking out his airplanes. Or using fighters of his own. I don't know if he lost his fighters. I haven't really been paying attention.
I'm not sure he has either, because I'm pretty sure that would have been a very, very helpful thing for him to have.
Yeah. Yeah, but I think just the overwhelming amount of firepower here and the help of the ISU 122 will be enough to push through his town, and he just needs one more flag, and it's down to a trove, and Karma can breathe for a little bit.
But you can see that Karma is kind of running a little bit dry himself. He's got machine guns out here on the attack, which is never something you want to see, really.
Yeah. It's not ideal, and that's one of the, the downfalls of playing with, a little bit more vetted strokies. You do lose out on a lot of availability for just that one-star veterancy.
That is certainly the case. Um, it's a rather unfortunate mapping for, let's say, positioning here. Let that Jagdpanzer, for example, coming in. Dude, that man has taken the absolute longest way to get to the front. It's like he almost knows that it's either done before he gets there or it's done because he gets there. There's really no in between, it looks like.
It's like, if I just go slow enough, maybe I can avoid the roar.
Dude, we've seen people do that before. It's been quite successful. But Valentine might end. Oh no, he's fired his last. He's fired his last HE shell.
Yeah. And they couldn't even bother putting a machine gun on it. I don't think they could because the gun took up too much space, but still.
That is entirely possible, but you would know better than I. And these fucking wolves, I think, are coming in for the final run of the battle.
Here we go. Yeah, it was a pretty clutch run. Not super clutch, but definitely bide Green HC a bit of time, yeah.
Well, that's why you see this Valentine who's desperate to get any kind of positioning here. He's just like, dude, if I get that flag, 30 seconds.
Oh, he's so close.
Thing is, if he comes around, there's still a pack 40 who's been sitting
There we
here.
go. Karma's just, he's holding on to the edge of the cliff with just his pinky.
Yeah, and here comes the cliff saying, get out of here.
Yeah.
Turret stuck.
Back off. Hide behind the building. There we go. Now he just has to not die. The whole match rests in that one Valentine.
Well, him, the Valentine, or we look at the Strokies down south, too.
Oh yeah, and those guys too. They've... Yeah, there's no more anti-tank here down south anymore, so that one Turan 2 has pretty much free reign to blow up wherever the hell he wants.
And not to be outdone, the Focke-Wulf comes back in and is like, no. I've been dealing with these guys this entire map. This is over. There we go. So 27 seconds to go. Were I this half track, I just race on forward. Excuse me, machine gun. I race on forwards and desperately just beat the guy over the head with my gun until he surrenders.
Yeah.
And the Storky down to the south too, just not able to push back the Turan. Had he had another 2 minutes, he might have been able to win this, but I think just because of just the weight of numbers early on, this does go over here to the first Lovas and Green HD. So really well done there.
Yeah, pretty close on KD considering. Well, for like a 1v1, like 800, it's different, which is not bad.
Well, and when you think about it too, a lot of these division equipment on both sides, very, very inexpensive. The most expensive thing over here on the ground, at least for the Hungarians, is of course the Nimrod. Plane's a different story altogether. On the other side, yeah, there's 85 mils and the ISU 122s. Other than that, pretty much everything else is like 60 or less.
Yep, it's pretty cheap for the most part. And, yeah, like kills, nothing...
Ivan's got 4 kills and 85 mil.
Yeah, but nothing really outstanding. And losses...
Well, this is interesting too, because again, like we're not seeing a ton of kills necessarily from the Focke-Wulfs. I mean, we still see 7 of them so far. 11 and 3 over here from the JU-88. So I mean, not for nothing though. Really, really solid play from the air.
Yeah, those Focke-Wulfs were just coming in. I keep saying clutch, but they're coming in very useful and just stressing out any push that Karma tried to make of infantry. And that's a good thing with Lovas. They do have some pretty nice air power of the division, and it's good seeing it being used to such effect. I felt like Karma just needed a little bit more anti. I needed a few more 37mm to pepper the sky with.
With love.
With love.
I absolutely agree.
And 37mm high explosive showers loaded with flak ammunition.
You know, I absolutely agree. It's one of those things that to me I think kind of makes perfect sense here. But regrettably, I am not the commander that he is, so. All the same, really well played to both those guys. Solid play.
Yeah. Karma really, you know, I did like how he just went all out at the end. Just trying to make something happen, because sometimes you see people where they're going to lose, but they don't, like, they have a bunch of stuff in the back, which they could just, you know, you might as well. It's good seeing someone actually just, okay, select everything, attack, move, pray to God.
Exactly. Exactly. Unfortunately, Comrade Lenin didn't really seem to have a whole lot of interest in the outcome of the fighting today. But here we are. Here
Here
we
we are.
are. Well played to both guys, sincerely. Um, and I think when we return next week, there's gonna be some other kind of crazy, crazy play to be seen. Any final thoughts, though, sir?
Nope.
Well, folks, in that case, then you know what it means. Until next time, I'm Con Ulrich.
I'm Rangru, take it easy.